Good evening and welcome to the SRL TCR League Round 3 live from Watkins Glen in America. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be here bringing you all the action this evening, and I'm joined alongside the one and the only Mr. Stewart Rice has joined me this evening. So two of us in the booth, but we're here at Watkins Glen, 5.41 kilometers in length, and we are here with the boot and the inner loop here as well. 3.45 miles, 11 corners, 123.9166 track record set by Sebastian Bourdais in a Dallara DW12 2017 car. And I think you've got to admit, it is an absolutely amazing circuit. I love Watkins Glen. There's two tracks in use at the moment. They've got this one and the short circuit, but overall they have had round about previously 4 configurations of this circuit, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to bring Stewart into the booth really quickly. Good evening, Mr. Rice. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Good evening, Anna. Yeah, I am great. Thank you very much. How about yourself?
I'm not bad. Not bad at all. Busy night of Friday for me.
Absolutely. No, Watkins Glen, as you say, is one of those tracks that's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's also one of those tracks that you rarely see an American car turning right rather than left. So it's just got a great. It's actually got a surprising level of elevation for a track like this. And I still easily think one of the hardest points is that inner loop, or also known to some as the bus stop, which especially in these cars.
Yeah, definitely in TCRs, it's going to be a tough one. You know, they've got the bus stop to deal with. They've got the outer loop. They've got the chute. They've got the toe, the boot, the hill. There's all involved here on track. And we've got Roger Morton just about to go into qualifying. We are currently at this moment in time, so we will get qualifying underway. They've got 10 minutes of lone qualifying. Don't forget, 20-minute heat 1. 20-minute with a reverse top 20 of heat 2, and that's one of the things we've got to be looking out for here as well, how they get on. And at the moment it is they're on Mark Draper here as well. Good evening, ladies, says David is over in the JPB YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love to you. Zach Sweeney's in the booth as well. Sam Van Os. Toxic Munchkin is there, Oliver Power and Top Tech IT Sim Racing over in the SRL YouTube channel as well. Don't forget, give them both a subscribe, turn on the bells, give them a thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. But we've got Mark Draper on track at this moment in time as we are into qualifying. 3-lap qualifying, Stewart. You know, they've got one out, too hot. It's going to be tough for him, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's always tough for that sort of qualifying. It's just basically a case of trying your absolute best to get a decent lap on the second, and knowing that you have got that chance to make up for any mistakes on the second hot lap is good, but simultaneously it's also a bit of a problem, because if you mess up on the first lap, you've got all the pressure to get it right the second time round, and you have no more chances. So there will be some pressure, I'm sure, in qualifying, as there always is.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You've got to try and hook it up here as well, and especially at a circuit like this, because you're not going to get too many chances here, being at Watkins Glen and on a mid 140 lap time. It's going to be tough for these guys, but I think overall they should be able to get it hooked up. Gary Craig is there, of course. Dan Moldaff felt they were the winners of race 1 last time out in Magny-Cours. And then John Brown, Neil Stevenson, Daniel Sedgley was 1, 2, 3 in the feature. So it's quite an up and down. The reverse top 20 really does add spice to this. And when you've got the 30 cars that we've got on track for this at the moment, it can lead to chaos, Stuart, at the same time.
Absolutely. And I think it is just a case of how do you even strategize for a reverse top 20, especially as because obviously you still want to win the first heat. You don't want to be going in there going like, oh, I'm going to be this position just to avoid getting flung around to the back. But then again, I guess some will see it as an opportunity to show what they can do, but simultaneously, as you say, it can cause chaos, because then you get slightly slower drivers further back coming right up to the front of the field, and then everyone has to battle through that. It can cause some absolutely fantastic racing, though, I have to say. That's one of the big positives of a reverse 20. Yeah,
exactly. And I think they've got to be very, very careful on how they go about dealing with the situation, because at the end of the day, they've either decide to go for it, as you said, they've got to kind of go for it, or they just take what they can get out of race 2 when they go into race 1. And there's all of these options that they've got to deal with, and at the end of the day, they've got to try and do what's best for them. And, I think at the end of the day, I would probably, if I can qualify near the front, which I don't ever, but if I did, I would go for it, personally.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the racer in me always has to say I would go for it, because winning on track is still very, very good, and it is the goal at the end of the day, for most races anyway.
Exactly.
But, I would always have to say I would always charge down for the win, because at the end of the day, it's just what you do, I guess. First time's on the board.
Exactly. So Gary Craig there is top of the time in town at the moment on 1:58.189. So we're nearly to a 2-minute lap here. They've got to try and get it right first time if they can, to be able to give themselves that time to go again, because they won't get much time there. David Ayres is over in JPB YouTube channel. He's just checking down the bank of the sofa for any lost coins to contribute to the results damage repair bill. Well, the results is obviously Carl Hardy and obviously Roger Morton. So hopefully they won't give you a massive repair bill this evening, but I cannot guarantee that that will not be the case, I'm afraid, because obviously, if it's judging anything by Tuesdays, David, you do get a repair bill every single time. So from that point of view, I can't guarantee that you're not going to get one. So there we go.
Damage is always interesting.
It's
always one of those. Imagine if we weren't sim racing, the amount of damage that people could rack up. Just like that's the one big great thing about sim racing as well. You don't have the repair bills at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's the thing. So Callum Regarton is over in SRL. Hey lads and girls, gutted I can't make it tonight. On boyfriend duties. Oh, CRG there, got his do his bit with the wife. Yeah, it's either that or sleep on the sofa, right? And I definitely do not like sleeping on the sofa. So, get on it, Callum. Don't be talking with me, Sort it out. You don't want to be on the sofa. But we've got Gary Craig in first, Mark Draper second, JM Gomez third, Steve Howard fourth, Daniel Sedgley in fifth place. Now, Sedgley's in the Audi. It's going to be interesting for him. Magny Core, first time in the car. Took advice from me as he was driving, as he got onto the grid. Didn't realise the Audi does not have a clutch, so you can't clutch start this thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I found that out myself in officials when I went to clutch and jumped the start and ended up in the pit lane. But you do have to brake, give it about 20% power, and then once the lights go green, you can release the brake slowly and feather in the throttle. So he did manage to get away, and as I showed in the feature last week, he got third place. So a splendid job from him, but currently down in ninth place. Niels Peen there is come to the end of his lap. Dan Mould is currently down in 17th place here. So let's see how Dan gets on in that Hyundai, of course. He is in the Elantra. And if you're wondering,
they're all great.
They're all great looking cars, aren't they? They're amazing cars. But if you do wonder why and what is the difference between the Elantra and the Velocity, and you wonder how we know that in the booth, well, the Elantra's got a boot. The Velocity just kind of chops off like a Honda Civic. It's just down straight away. So there we go. If you're wondering, that's how we can tell you how they've all got different cars here. And obviously, as you can see on the left-hand side, the white line next to their number tells you who you're on board with, as Dan Mould goes into third on a 157.978. So there we go. Amazing.
So they are fantastic. Any TCR car, to be fair, is a fantastic car. I mean, obviously in the UK, I'm pretty sure we don't have the Elantra. I think the only one we got is the Veloster. And even then, I'm not sure. But they sound fantastic as well. That's what I love about these.
Yeah, exactly.
Great sounding cars all round.
And the driving, well, obviously in people's hands that are better than I am, I'm sure they do amazing. But for me, unfortunately, I'm still struggling along in the Audi to see how it goes. But there we go. Elliot James hasn't got a lap on the board at the moment. JM Gomez has got 2 purple sectors here up and running as he's going to go across the line. He's green again. Where is Gomez going to go? He's going into pole on a 157. Oof. Oh, he's been jumped by Gary Craig. Craig at the end. Literally there. And then we got Alan McCain.
Oh.
As well.
Mark Draper up into the first position, right on the there. That's really close. With Elmore jumping up into 5th. That's right at the end. Quite a considerable jump as well.
Mark Draper on 157.272. Zach Sweeney. James, just say you're slow. All right. Thanks, mate. I love you too. You know what I mean? Cheers, Zach.
Well, he can't be as slow as me because I run on a controller. So.
Oi! So there we go. Thank you so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probably true.
Has anyone noticed the shape of the map, or is it just me? Well, Oliver, if you want to see a shape of the map that might cause you completely problems, you might look at the Snetterton 300 circuit, if you really feel you want to look at a map there as well. And I'm not going to answer that question, Mr. West, over in the SRL there either. A little bit bizarre, to be honest. What reverse grid slots, guys? Top 20 toxic. Top 20 reverse. So there we go. Yes, Zach, that might be a good idea for you over in the JPB YouTube channel there. 30 seconds remaining, and we got Alan McCain out on track, Dan Mould, Mark Brown, Michael Seal. They're all, I think, coming towards the end. Neil Stevenson's done his lap. Elliot James is the only one that hasn't completed his 3 laps. And Carl Fleet, I believe Carl is coming around the hill. Elliot James is a little bit further on. He's stopped now, so we can follow Carl Fleet across the line. 4 seconds remaining. I don't think he's quite going to get there. And then once we get these up, we will bring you up the qualifying grid. So here we go. We've got Mark Draper in first, Gary Craig in second, JM Gomez third, Alan McCain in fourth, Dan Mould fifth, Niels Peen sixth, Sam Smith seventh, Matt Elmore in 8th, Steve Howard 9th, Mark Brown in 10th, Michael Seal in 11th, Russell Cowell is down in 12th place, JB Deju in 13th, Derek Crowther 14th, Stuart Gibbons 15th, Neil Stevenson 16th, Fraser Garrett 7th, Scott Malcolm 18th, Daniel Sedgley 19th, Elliot James 20th, Duncan Murray in 21st, Christopher Barnes in 22nd, Kev Eilert 23rd, Ryan Dudley is down, unfortunately down in 24th place. Beyond that, Roger Morton 25th, Al Brown 26th, John Brown 27th, Carl Fleet 28th, and Richard White in 29th place. So there we go. Stay tuned because we are going to be, well, I think it's going to be a barnstorming race, to be honest.
Absolutely, as we await the start, everyone to be here.
Yeah, we've got a few more, Daniel Sedgley, Alan McCain and Gary Craig. So there we go. Cheers. Think James might end up under the patio. I will, yeah, definitely on that one. if somebody else decided that they want to do what he said about doing. So there we go. A little bit bizarre, but let's hope not. As we're waiting for all the cars to get onto the grid, you can see Mark Draper there, sitting ready at the front. We're just waiting for McCain to get on. And is he going to get on in time? He's got about 30, he's got 30 seconds, so he should be good. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. He's qualified in 4th. Brilliant position to qualify in. Right. Looks like he's on.
Here we go. The lights are on now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are underway for the SRL TCR from Watkins Glen. Here, and it's Mark Draper out in front, Gary Craig in second, JM Gomez in third, McCain fourth. They're 3 wide further back in the order as well. You can see how it's all going to pan out. Danley Sedgley's in the mix. Oh, somebody's gone round already, but he's managed to keep it under control. Steve Howard is in the mix running up the hill. Sam Smith is another one as well, but it is Mark Draper leading the way. Everyone got away cleanly there, Stewart. Not bad of a start at all.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be probably some of the best starts for the people up front. Dan Moore just taking a position on pin there at the start, but not too much change apart from down the field. There's drivers moving around all over the place, but as we go through the boo, we got cars left and right. Someone's just got very wide onto the grass there. Steve Hailwood taking it onto the dirt. Still makes the move. Not sure if he's going to have a slow down for that, but I'd be impressed if that goes through. As we have a 3-way battle going on here with Matt Elmore.
Yeah,
going to send it down the inside. What a send.
Yeah.
What a move.
Yeah, Niels Peen in 6th place, Matt Elmore in 7th. In the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the battle box. It will tell you who's in front and who you're on board with is the man in the middle. That is Matt Elmore. He's got Niels Peen in front, Sam Smith right behind him. Stuart Gibbons is in the mix as well. He's chasing down Fraser Garrity. This is your battle down in 20th place at the moment. There, Chris Barnes is not far behind him, but Niels Peen is climbing up the grid. Oh, yeah, he's got Matt Elmore and Sam Smith right behind him. It's going to be a tough one.
I think Mark Draper has also just bumped back up into the lead. There was a bit of change of hands around at the front, but we're still, yep, there you go. Still off in the distance. Not much supposed to do, and that's not too close at the moment. However, there was a lot of cars very close further back. I just spotted there. That is the Niels Peen, Matt Elmore, Dan Mould, I believe. Niels Peen is dropping down.
Yeah, he's in the pits. He's in the pits. He's obviously got some form of issue, whether it be a penalty off the start or whether or not he jumped the start, but he is in the pits. Scott Malcolm, Elliot James has also been involved in an incident. They are both in the pits there as well. But it is Matt Elmore now, has got Sam Smith right behind him. How is he going to deal with this one? Stewart, how's he going to cope at the moment?
I think it's a huge amount of pressure from behind. But we've got Sam Smith behind, just trying to catch up as well. It's going to be an immensely close run down into the bus stop, sending it out to the left. Will there be a move here trying to switch back? But I don't think so. It's probably going to be just about as far as he goes for now. Still right on the rear end of Matt Elmore, I believe. But that's very close.
Oh, Matt Elmore is under heaps of pressure from Smith. The problem is when you're under heaps of pressure from the man behind, it stops you. Oh, Matt Elmore. Sam Smith held it. He held it. It was going sideways. Don't forget front-wheel drive TCRs. They did manage to keep it going, but only just, mind you. Stuart Gibbons is under attack. Fraser Garrity, sorry, with Duncan Murray. Murray there behind Garrity in 16th and 17th place. He's currently up 4 on his start, so quite a good start. Ryan Dudley, for all your Dudley fans in chat, he's currently in 15th, up 9 places for Ryan Dudley, chasing down JB Deju. Mark Draper, Gary Craig are swapping positions. Here we go. Draper's on the left. Oh, Craig goes in front now. Can Draper come back through and make that move as he comes around the final corner before they go down into the 90 there as well? But there's battles all the way round. Where do we point the cameras? We're going to go to Daniel Sedgley, who's battling Russell Cow here, both men in the Audis this evening.
As we expected, tons of battling throughout the field, absolutely everywhere. It's impossible to tell as we got the jerk. It's essentially on Cal, isn't it, if I remember correctly? Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up.
Sedgley's
in the middle on Cowell, heading up behind, and he's going to have the run potentially up the back straight here.
He's going to have a good go.
Oh, we got a battle behind as well, which we're going to have to keep behind for now because we're sticking with the run here at the straight. There we go. 2 battles going on the same piece of track, just right in front of each other. As we have Ryan Dudley trying to make the move round the outside into the bus stop. That's going to be really late on the brakes, and it is just a game of who can brake later there.
Yeah, JB
that has slowed him down.
Yeah, JB Deju, Ryan Dudley. Dudley got a lot better run out of the bus stop than he did there at the moment, and he's got now, unfortunately for him, he's got Fraser Garrity right behind him as well. Oh, he's gone! Dudley's going to send it on the inside of JB Deju.
Move! That's not enough. I don't think that's entirely set because we've still got Deju coming up behind again. Going to send it down the inside into the corner, and now he had to back out there, I think.
Oh, Dudley said no. Dudley said you're not having that position of me. If you want that position, your nose is coming with me. And Ryan Dudley blocks him off there. Absolutely stellar job from Ryan Dudley. Is now up 10 places into 14th. We're on board with Michael Seal, Steve Howard, Dick Crowther and Mark Brown here. These guys battling away for 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. And Daniel Sedgley still right up behind Russell Cow. Take your pick.
Oh my goodness, you can even see in the background, you've got an entire gaggle of cars all battling for position as well. That's immensely close between those cars with Deju in front. And that's going to be a move round on the right. There's 2 battles at the same time.
Yeah, Garrity's just got past Deju with Murray and Gibbons and Barnes. So pockets all over the racetrack, but we do not expect anything else from the SRL TCRs here this evening for round 3 live from Watkins Glen. We didn't get time to bring you up the standings. We will try and do that in the brief intermission if we can, and then we will bring you up how the current championship standings look at the moment. But Duncan Murray is climbing all over the back of JB Deju. He's going to be swapping backwards and forwards. Can we go inside the car? There we go.
Ooh. Right on the tail end of Deju's car. He's going to try and potentially make a move, or he's just looking right now. Can't get on the brakes late enough, and Deju holds it through into there. But that's a mistake from Deju, going very, very wide. He's going to have to rejoin somehow, and that move is made, but that's also going to slow down Deju behind. And Duncan Murray makes that move look, well, quite frankly, a little bit easy. It
was easy in the end, wasn't it? When somebody makes a mistake and goes off track, it's like, thank you very much, I love some of that. Russell
exactly.
is here now with Mark Brown and Daniel Sedgley.
Oh, very wide.
Yeah. Freeway
Oh my
battle.
word.
Oh, go for it, Stewart. Tell us.
This is getting insanely close between all the drivers. You've got Russell Callan, the 1, 2, 3 car just ahead, but the biggest battle is coming from behind, as that is going to be an attempted move by Mark Brown. Not by Mark Brown, the car behind Mark Brown. Sorry, apologies for that. Daniel Sedgley, that is a potential send by Sedgley, but not quite. And they're still going to be side by side coming out of the corner. They've got to head down here and absolutely nail this. I don't think Sedgley's going to be able to make a move quite yet. Probably going to be waiting until the start straight for this one.
Yeah, I think he's going to be trying to have a go at the start finish straight. Michael Seal has got Steve Hailwood behind him. I do love Steve's car. It's nice and bright. I can tell the difference. It's absolutely amazing. Dan Mould has got Matt Elmore. He's trying to chase him down, but unfortunately for Matt, he's got Steve Smith. Sam Smith, sorry Sam, my apologies, right behind him as well. John Brown is battling away with Roger Morton. These guys are battling it out down in 21st and 22nd. Deju and Barnes are still having a mix. That's Brown past Morton. Brown's up 6 places now. JB Deju, Chris Barnes, Kev Eilert as well, all battling away here. And Ryan Dudley's got, well, Fraser Garrity very close.
Practically being bump drafted at this point, which of course is possible to do in these if you really want to. As they're going to come down towards the inner loop, just going to continue to send it through there. It's always such an impressive corner, and that's a bit of a mistake from Ryan Dudley. He takes it very, very wrong on there, potentially nearly unseating the car, but not quite, and he's still going to hold the position over Fraser Garrity.
To answer your question, David Ayres, Scott Malcolm is out on track. Elliot James is not. We will try and have a look back. As you can see, it's just non-stop action here at the moment. So I promise you we will try and keep up and get back to it as we can. But it is literally full on at this moment in time here this evening for the SRL TCR Round 3 live from Watkins Glen. So just be aware it is going to be absolutely incredible racing here with Sam Smith and Matt Elmore still battling away nicely.
Exactly, everyone trying to keep as close to the bumper of the car in front, of course. And that, of course, brings even better racing. But then again, it also brings possibilities for mistakes, which we've seen already, where you can make one mistake and drop back 3 or 4 cars. As we're currently on board with Sam Smith, looking back at Dan Mould behind, just trying to catch back up down the straight. He is gaining. Not too sure he's going to be able to make a move here, but we will see if he wants to try into the 90. Not quite. He's going to back out smartly, I would say.
Yeah, he's going to wait for the S's here. Matt Elmore is behind him currently at the moment. Dan Mould is in front of us at this moment in time, but it is Matt Elmore trying to chase us down here on board currently at the moment with Sam Smith. And then behind that as well, there's more interesting things going on as well. Steve Hailwood battling away with Michael Seal. They're going to be chasing down into the bus stop. Is Hailwood going to make it? He's going to have the inside line. They're going to try. Oh, Steve. Off. Suits you, sir. That was very, very close there. As Sedgley and Cal, well, they've been nose to tail all the way through and are still going at it now.
I've got to love Sedgley's livery. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's going to actually potentially be alongside almost here. He's going to be on the outside. And that's going to still be side by side into the corner. That's immensely close. Still side by side heading up to the end of there into the toe. This is going to be an exceptional move, and that's a really, really nice move from Daniel Sedgley right there.
Daniel Sedgley makes the move past Cal. He just carried the speed around the outside. Michael Seal. Yes, well, he's got Steve Hailwood literally practically attached to him. Michael Seal there. And in front, Matt Elmore, Sam Smith still going at it. Mark Draper's out in front by about 1.4 seconds at the moment. And you can see the mixture of battles on your left-hand side. Got Al Brown into the pits as well. Let's see if we can have a look what happened here with Scott Malcolm. I've got a funny feeling it may have involved Carl Fleet. Just bear with us 2 seconds. So there is Scott. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's just been squeezed. Well, I think Elliot James there didn't really have a lot of places to go on that one. And unfortunately for Scott Malcolm,
I really don't think so.
No, Scott was coming over, wasn't he? He didn't really have much space to go anywhere.
At the end of the day, if someone gets pushed into the barrier and then comes back across onto you, you kind of got to wonder at that point, should they have been pushed across into the barrier?
Yeah, I think the problem is obviously didn't have that initial first lap or full flat grip that they would expect to have. You know what I mean? And that's why he's drifted wide at the top of the hill. And unfortunately for Elliot James, he was just attached on the inside. But Cal's having another go at Sedgley. Cal is still tracking Daniel Sedgley. These guys have been at it from the beginning. Don't forget here. And then further back, you can see Dudley trying to chase down Garrity with Duncan Murray speeding after him rapidly. Then Kev Eilert as well. Christopher Barnes in front of us there for Kev. So battles all the way through the order, but it is kind of up here where we've got Michael Seal, Steve Howard, Derek Crowther, Matt Elmore, Sam Smith. They've been at it from the beginning, and we've only got 6.5 minutes left.
Absolutely, we just got to wait to see basically who will make a move, if they make a move. Of course, at this point, because we do have the reverse top 20 for the race too, don't we? So it'll make it very, very interesting round there.
Yeah, exactly. The reverse top 20 at the moment puts Kev Eilert on pole. Chris Barnes second. JB Deju will be in third. So Kev Eilert is going to be currently sitting down in the 20th prime position spot here. And has got pole position. So let's see how Michael Seal keeps going here as well. He's in a spiral by result livery. Another one for David Ayres to keep an eye on, because he doesn't want to be funding any more damages. So here we go. Steve Howard's going to try and claim that inside line. Is he going to get it down into the 90? Seal squeezing him. He's squeezing him like a pimple on a teenager.
What a move! Oh
no! Contact!
How they didn't go off the track there and completely into a wall, I will never know, but that's given a perfect opportunity.
That's Derek Crowther.
Make a move. Derek Crowther could potentially make a move here, but it's going to be immensely close. They're all going to be nose to tail going up here. Question is, who wants to try and make a move into the bus stop? That's the question.
Well, I don't think anybody really wants to try and make the move into the bus stop. I think, if the option's there, you might have a go, but I don't think you want to purposely do it. However, Chris Barnes and JB Deju are going to go for it. Side by side, going in now. JB Deju takes the front. Chris Barnes tucks it behind him. Roger Morton chasing down Niels Peen in front of him at the moment. As you can see, we're on the dash here. On the dash cam of Roger Morton. Is he going to be able to get on the gas a little bit earlier than Niels? He's not this time around. Steve Howard, Michael Seal still battling away, and Gary Craig and JM Gomez are starting to come together in second and third. There they are there, just gone past your screen. Gary Craig and JM Gomez. So stay tuned and see how they get on, because it's going to be absolutely incredible racing here this evening.
And of course, the point is, up in the top three right now, they're essentially battling potentially to stay where they are, because they will gain a position on the other driver next race round anyway, because of technically how that all works, which does make it a very interesting strategy at this point, because we've only got 4-ish minutes left. And will they want to make a move? That's the main question. I mean, everyone wants to make a move on track. Send it is always an option, and always the option that's fun to take, but I guess they do somehow have to be thinking about the strategy.
Yeah, do you want to get in the booth with Daniel Sedgley and that and tell him, they're racing drivers, aren't they?
Exactly.
There's no, I'm going to lay back, give you a cuddle and let you tickle my belly to make the move. I'm going to give you pressure. Duncan Murray here is battling away with Fraser Garrity. They're going to give each other pressure. They want the gaps. Look at Elmore currently at the moment. He's not hanging back for love nor money. He's going at Smith. And he's going to try and go to whoever has the inside seems to be able to gain the advantage, don't they?
It's because no one really will want to get the best line. It's kind of like you have to straighten that corner out as much as possible, because it's the only way to go quick through there. But I mean, it's a case of not wanting to do it. But we do, of course, have Deju here versus Gibbons in front and Barnes behind. Two little battles going on, but mostly between Deju and Gibbons. Gibbons going very late on the brakes there, I think.
Barnes.
Too sure there was contact. Oh,
JB Deju and Chris Barnes. Deju is in front, Barnes is behind. Brown's just overtaken Eyelet down into the chute he has. So there we go. But McCain, he'll love me for that because he jumped in, right? Alan McCann, right, or Alan McCain jumped into the booth beforehand and said, James, he said, there are times you get my name right and there's times you don't. He said that one of the times you don't is it's McCain. So I've written down McCain, M-C-K-A-I-N-E, just so I know that it's Alan McCain. So there we go. Oh, Dudley's off.
Oh no, into the barrier at speed.
Ryan Dudley.
That's not a healthy front left wheel.
No.
And what happened there?
Locks up, outbreaks himself.
Oh, into the barrier.
And into the barrier goes Ryan Dudley. So there we go. Russell Cowell in the right-hand side with Mark Brown.
Ooh.
Russell and Mark. Oh, turn one, side by side. Unbelievable there. Gary Craig, JM Gomez now up the front as well. You can see him, McCain behind as well. He's battling with Dan Mould. These guys having a battle. It's 1, it's 2, 3, 4. They went too wide. Oh!
You hardly ever see that through there. As we were talking about earlier, no one really wants to do it, but if you're there, you kind of got to go for it. It's still going to be immensely close between the two drivers here. Battling it out, just trying to find any gap possible with McCain in front. If I've got that correct.
Yes, you have. Well done, you. Gary Craig there in the second place has got JM Gomez behind him. McCain and Mould there. In, of course, the Elantras. Then we've got JM Gomez here in front. He's in an Elantra. And then we've got Gary Craig in a Velocitaro, of course. And then Mark Draper is just gone. He is up front in the, well, it goes very wide in the Elantra there as well. So a lot of battling going on throughout the field. And we've still got Daniel Sedgley battling away with Derek Crowther in the Audi. Sedgley, of course, up 8 places. Murray is up 8 as well. Excellent drive there. Gary Craig in second with JM Gomez behind. And we've only got 25 seconds left on clock. This is likely to be, if Draper's going to make it, it is the final lap of the race here in race 1. And I think you got to admit, it was an absolute stunning race, and it's still not over as we see Dan Mould battling away with Alan McCain.
Absolutely, going right in there, just trying to make that move, but he's a little bit out of the right there. Track limits on Watkins, not the most lenient, to put it that way, on that corner, as he's going to try and make a move. Dan Mould trying to catch McCain. He's going to have a little bit of the toe here, I think, but I don't think quite enough to make it too wide.
No.
We've got JM Gomez trying to get on the back of Craig, along with that battle between Mould behind him. We've got a big group of cars back here. Matt Elmore currently attempting to make the move on Smith. He just clipped the barrier there slightly. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so. He'd be in the wall if he did.
Sedgley's having a good old go like Crowther. He's literally climbing all over the back of him currently at the moment, but if the cars ain't going to make it through, they're going to struggle for space as to where. If Dan Mould's going to do it, he's going to Verstappen it, and he's got to send it, because he's not, can he carry that line? I don't think he's going to be able to be honest, this time around.
I mean, I'm not sure. I think he's definitely got a potential side. He's got a wheel alongside. He's got a full car alongside. Heading in to the heel, they've just got to make it stick, and if he's going to just brake, let him back through and potentially try the old switcheroo. As he goes very wide on the corner, which is not going to help here, potentially.
Can McCain hold it?
Ooh, it's going to be immensely close regardless. Heading right round. It's, of course, pushing onto the final corners of the race at this point. As Mould is right on the back, he's just got to hold his position. But across the line comes Mark Draper, first place for the race.
Yeah, Mark Draper in first, Gary Craig in second, JM Gomez third. Dan Mould, McCain is going to be Mould!
Woohoo!
Dan Mould got it on the line on that run down there as well.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible driving there for Dan Mould. Got the run, got the job done. Can have a look and see how he passed him here. Look at that, we're on board. McCain goes wide, gets a slow run out, and here comes Mould. Says, thank you very much, I will have that, young sir. And he definitely did there as well. But JB Deju comes across the line. We are down in 22nd with Carl Fleet. And then we've got the cars behind, of course, Ryan Dudley after his incident. Scott Malcolm as well still had to finish, as is Kev Eilert. So we'll just wait for them cars to come across. And I think you've got to admit, that is incredible driving there as well. So,
yeah, I honestly can't.
Oh, there we go. Chris Young Racing. Forgot to mention earlier, TCR UK, Jamie Tonks is racing an Elantra this season, the first one in the UK.
Huh?
So there we go. So we're going to have a one Elantra, apparently, in the field. For TCR UK, Jamie Tonks is racing it. So Car Fleet comes across the line. Here comes the I must lick my wounds Ryan Dudley incident. They're doing so well, and then unfortunately dropped down the field. Scott Malcolm is coming over the line as well. And then we will bring you up the results here of race 1. And I think you've got to admit, if race 1 is anything to go by, race 2 is going to be an amazing with a top 20 reverse.
Absolutely. I'm not even sure that it's going to be plain sailing for the fast drivers either. The ones right up the top, because everyone behind was battling to an incredible level as well. So I think we're potentially going to see a great move there.
Yeah, Mark Draper is out in first place. Gary Craig in second. JM Gomez third. Dan Mould fourth. Alan McCain fifth. Sam Smith is in sixth. Matt Elmore in seventh. Steve Howard eighth. Michael Seal in ninth place there. Derek Carver in... Oh, hold on. Come on. Ooh. Come back. You can do it. Where you at? There we go. Derek Carver in 10th. Daniel Sedgley in 11th. Russell Cowell in 12th. Duncan Murray in 13th. Fraser Garrity 14th. Stuart Gibbons in 15th. JB Deju 16th. And John Brown down in 17th place. Okay. You going to move on? Okay. Behind that... We have, where we're up to, 17th there. Hold on. What is happening here? Can we come back? Please come back. There is John Brown. Can we go down further than John? No, apparently we cannot go further than John. So, I'm not entirely sure what is the wonderful world here. Hold on. There we go. Chris Barnes is in 18th, Nils P 19th, Mark Brown 20th, Roger Morton 21st, and Roger just missed out on pole position. It's going to be front done by Mark Brown, Nils Peen in 19th, Carl Fleet in 22nd, Ryan Dudley 23rd, Scott Malcolm 24th, Neil Stevenson 25th, Richard White 26th, and Kev Eilert down in 27th, and Al Brown behind him in 28th place there. So, well... I think from our perspective, we've got a absolutely stunning racing to go. While we've got about 3 minutes left, we'll bring you up the championship standings. You can see Navid Hussain is leading the way with Dan Mould in second, Daniel Sedgley in third. Sam Smith in fourth, Arthur Ferdle in fifth, Carl Hardy sixth, Scott Malcolm seventh, Neil Stevenson eighth, John Brown ninth, Fraser Garrity 10th, Gary Craig is down in 11th for 37 points, Mark Draper in 12th, JM Gomez 13th, Alan McCain 14th, Craig Waters 15th, Derek Carver 16th, Duncan Murray in 17th, and Roger Morton down in 18th place. Then beyond that, Jay Corley down in 19th, JB Deju 20th, Kev Eilert 21st, Christoph Malinowski in 22nd, Michael Seal 23rd, Steve Howard 24th, Chris Barnes 25th, Stephen Fry 26th, Al Brown 27th, and Ben Denya is in 28th place. So there you go, Stuart. What do you think of race 1?
Honestly, absolutely fantastic driving from pretty much everyone involved, I have to say. Battles well across the field. And now we have to wait and see for that good old reverse top 20, which will certainly shake things up, make it a lot more interesting, and potentially bring some even harder battles. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to now after that race.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think it's going to be interesting. Just to answer your question, Top Tech, there is 6 rounds. So consisting of 12 races, obviously 2 races per round, gives you 12 races over 6 rounds, with the final race at Road Atlanta Short Circuit on the 31st of the 3rd, so the 31st of March. It runs every 2 weeks alongside the GR86 as well. So the GR86 season 1 has been underway with the fun race. The media race is next Friday on the 24th. That takes place with the Legacy Silverstone. Then we start in the season on the 10th for the 3rd at Donington National, Brands Hatch Grand Prix, Alton Park, Nürburgring Grand Prix, Strecker Circuit, and the Hockenheim Circuit. And then round 6 will be at Summit Point. So there we go, as answers to your question, young sir. That is the answer. So there we go. Absolutely incredible season here, and one that I don't think we shall miss. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Warm-up is just coming to the end, so we will bring you up the grid very, very shortly. But Stewart, what are we expecting in race 2?
I think more of the same when it comes to all of the battles that we've seen, and I dare to say it, but even more of them. It was immensely awesome to see that amount quality, especially from the drivers, and no one giving an inch, but simultaneously no one taking it either.
Yeah, no, they've all been fairly sensible, and I think that's one of the things we get to look out for, is they were all fairly sensible. They haven't gone crashing into each other. They haven't done anything silly. Yeah, there was incidents, but it was kind of expected. So I think from that point of view, they've all been, ideal way of driving. So I would like to take part potentially in the GR86 and then TCRs for the 25th of this month. Any cost involved apart from track and cars. Obviously, you will have an entry fee to pay. I will bring you up that if you can just let me do the grid. So Mark Brown is in first, Niels Peen second, Chris Barnes third, John Brown fourth, JB Deju in fifth, Stuart Gibbons sixth, Fraser Garrity seventh, Duncan Murray eighth, Russell Cowan ninth, Daniel Sedgley 10th, Derek Carver in 11th, Michael Seal is down in 12th place. Beyond that, Steve Howard, Matt Elmore 14th, Sam Smith 15th, Alan McCain 16th, Dan Mould 17th, JM Gomez 19th, Gary Craig 9th, 18th, JM Gomez, 19th, Gary Craig, 20th, Mark Draper, Roger Morton, 21st, Carl Fleet, 22nd, Ryan Dudley, 23rd, Scott Malcolm, 24th, Neil Stevenson, 25th, Richard White, 26th, Kev Eilert, 27th, Al Brown, 28th, and Elliot James in 29th place. So that was me speed reading 30 cars. We're on the front end with Mark Brown, and we're away with Mark Brown. Lights are coming on. Race 2 is going to be coming underway right about now. So Mark Brown jumps off the start-finish line there. He's trying to come across and cut off Niels Peen. Peen's already alongside as they go racing down into turn 1. You can see how this is all going to pay out, and it's going to be absolute chaos. Look at the cars leading through there as well. Dudley's got contact. He's been hit in the rear end already, but Mark Brown battling away with Niels Peen on his first run up through the S's. And, well, I was going to say that was an amazing start, and so far so good.
Exactly. Right here with Peen on the back of Mark Brown, heading down towards that bus stop, and he's got to make it count. I mean, at the end of the day, as we've said, it's definitely not safe to go through here, but there's a lot of cars behind, potentially a move into the stop there. Very, very close
Steve
racing.
Howard,
oh no!
Seal and Howard.
Oh no, that rejoined. Oh no.
Howard. Oh, there's lots going on.
Oh no.
Alan McCain, that's Gary Craig out as well, your leader. Alan McCain, Gary Craig, all went off there, and this is how. Steve Howard starts it there. Seal's coming across into Sam Smith, who bangs Seal, Craig, and then McCain into the barrier. So there we go. There was a lot of argy-bargy going on up front. Mark Brown, Niels Peen. Peen's just taking the lead.
Old switch.
No, Brown's going to come back on him, I think.
Yeah, the good old switcheroo. The piece of the toolkit for so many drivers.
Definitely. Not for me. I just let them go past because there's a lot going on. Callum, welcome in. Hello, JB. Hello, mate. You there? Welcome in. Callum, thank you so much for joining us. But you can see the the things that's been happening. Duncan Murray is going to be side by side with JB Deju. Duncan's going to send it up. He runs slightly wide. Contact with JB. Daniel Sedgley and Russell Cowell commence their battle. Let round 2 commence for Russell Cowell and Daniel Sedgley here for the SRL TCR League. You might as well, right? They're going at it again, aren't they?
So many battles. There's a little bit of a nudge there to push Russell Cowell a little bit wide. He's dealt with that very, very well. And now, of course, he can come back. In the straight. He's going to come back at Sedgley here. Trying to make that move. He's going to be right in the slipstream. And I don't think there's too much. But there is, of course, Mark Brown up here with Niles Peen behind. Heading into the inner loop as this is going to be an immensely close run again. Is John Brown here, just going through perfectly nice as you like, but it's very close and it's a little bit slow, I think, because that has given the opportunity for Deju to come up behind.
Yeah, absolutely here as well. John Brown, JB Deju, Duncan Murray, Daniel Sedgley. None of these are half crickets in these cars. You know, they haven't got... Murray's just got up the inside of JB Deju, Duncan Murray there. Absolutely stellar job. You left the door open and you got burgled by Duncan, mate. I'm afraid you cannot leave that amount of room with Duncan Murray. Russell Cowell was just sending on JB Deju as well, and Matt Elmore as well. What a battle going on here already.
Exactly. I don't think Deju's having a fantastic time there. But we have Sam Smith coming up behind Elmore right here, potentially going to try and make a move at some point in that lap, but Deju's also under pressure from behind as well from Elmore, so it's just a case of seeing who's going to make a move when, I think.
Yeah, definitely on that one. There is a lot going on here in this mid-pack, and it's all being led by John Brown with Duncan Murray, Sedgley, Cowell, Gibbons, Elmore, JB Deju, Sam Smith. There's a line of strewn of cars, and then we've got a 1 second gap back to Mark Draper, and then we've got a further 3 seconds back to Kev Eilert, who is on his own leading another chain with Scott Malcolm, Steve Howard, Elliot James and Ryan Dudley. So, you know, there's a little chains all over the place, but not as many as this one.
Absolutely, as we're currently with Russell Cowell here, just attempting to catch back up to Sedgley in front. As Sedgley goes very wide there, he's going to give an option for Cowell to jump right ahead of him. So thank you very much. That's my position.
Yeah, he definitely did. Can't do that. Can't go that wide and allow and give Russell Cowell that much room, because unfortunately you've just seen what's happened. Matt Elmore as well battling away here. Stewart Gibbons in front of him. 15 minutes remaining. These races do go thick and fast, and they're going thick and fast again, and Elmore's going thick and fast on Gibbons. He's trying to make it through. A lot of curb bumping. Seal's got the run on the outside if he can. Seal and Smith again. Moulds in there as well, getting his elbows out. This is incredible.
Battling so hard and so fast, and we've got here Michael Seal trying to make the move around the outside on Sam Smith, not quite making it stick there, which gives Dan Mould the opportunity to come in behind as well and say, I'm going to start taking part in this again. As Michael Seal's going to attempt it, but right now we have JM Gomez in 13th position chasing down Mould, but simultaneously Draper's behind him as well. So it's all to play for in these positions.
Yeah, he went straight away, JM went defensive. As soon as he came out of that corner, he headed to that white line. Here we go. Oh, Mark Draper. Not going to do it. Matt Elmore, however, is having a good old go at Stewart Gibbons again as well.
I think it's only a matter of time at this point before Matt Elmore can catch up with Stewart Gibbons here and try and make a move, because he's just been all over the tail end of that car. It's just absolutely saying this. Gibbons goes very wide on that corner there. We've got to wait and see where he's going to sit on the straight and into the 90. Will he potentially try and make a move? I'm not sure. I think he might be a little bit too far back for that.
Yeah, Sedgley's tucked up right behind Cowell again. Literally right behind him. He cannot get any closer, even if he wanted to. There we go. That's a view back from Sedgley's car to Stewart Gibbons. That's the view back from Russell Cowell's car to Daniel Sedgley.
That shows the spin he's going to potentially try and make a move down here, I would think. Because that is very close. If he doesn't manage to get the slip, that is a massive front end of it down right there. Trying to make that move, and I think he's doing a little bit of a bump. Going for it now. Potentially not quite going to make it. That is a really close battle through there from Sedgley on Cowell, and this again is one of those battles. I think it's only a matter of time before he manages to make it through, but certainly not going to let him through easily. Sedgley's going to just try it again, but not quite going down into here. He's going to potentially just catch him on a little bit of a mistake there, trying to keep out of his rear wing. And he's still pushing for it, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as I assume he would have hoped.
No, definitely not. Sedgley there battling away with Cal. The problem is for Sedgley, Gibbons, Elmore, Smith and Seal are all coming at him, and just for good health, you got Dan Mould in the mix as well. Cal and Sedgley, here we go. Sedgley's on the inside. He's not going to get it. Can Elmore get it? That's the question. It looks like Elmore may have got Gibbons.
Perfect.
Yeah, job done.
Yep, exactly. It's just, as I said, a matter of time before that eventually happened, and I'm not too sure if it was a mistake or speed or both. But he's absolutely made that stick. And now behind Elmore, he has those guys to worry about. Stewart Gibbons very specifically at the moment, but Gibbons also has a car behind him to be concerned about. Smedgley and Cal are still racing for this.
Yeah, this is your battle for 7th and 6th and 7th place. The timing screen can't even keep up either. There's just nowhere for Mould to go. Mould's kind of coming out saying, where can I go? You haven't got anywhere to go, son. And if you are going to go anywhere, wherever you're going to go is going to cause a problem. Leave one wide. There's a lot of widers there. Trying to get up down Mould as well. He's using all the track, aren't they?
Absolutely. And I mean, you've got to at this point. As we're currently just watching Michael Seal in this battle between Dan Mould ahead of him. It's just so close. Essentially, coming alongside is almost 3 wide there, and I don't think anyone would want to make that happen, I'm sure. Russell Cal here with Daniel Sedgley right on his tail.
It was interesting then as well, because Matt Elmore tried to go up behind Russell Cal and push him in front of Sedgley, because obviously Elmore would be able to follow him through, but he just couldn't get there up, and he couldn't get that door shut to stop it allowing him through. But Seal, hit the throttle. Michael Seal, down the order he goes. Russell Cal now and Sedgley. Cal's gone up the inside of hill.
Neither driver giving any person an inch, and it just creates this fantastic battle ahead, but it will be slowing them down a little bit. Of course, versus cars behind, as Elmore, I believe, is catching up quickly.
Yeah, he's trying to get in front, and the problem is obviously when you can't get in front of them because these guys are still playing, there isn't a whole lot you can do about it. Do you know what I mean? You've got to try and be a little bit tactical, but it's always a tough one.
It's just when do you make that move, practically, because obviously these guys are going to be concerned about their battle, but of course that's the case. That is Mark Draper.
Yeah, he's just got past Stewart Gibbons.
Exactly. That's a lovely livery as well.
Which one?
Just understated. Number 84, so Mark Draper. That's a lovely livery. But right now, we've got Elmore trying to continue to look. He just sort of poked his nose out, went potentially, not going to happen. Heading down into the 90 with Sedgley and Cal still right nose to tail there.
Yeah, there's not much given, should we say, as we go on the rear wing again. Sedgley needs that inside line for this bus stop, and if he can't bully him off, he can't run round.
Oh,
he's not going to get there. I just don't think he's going to have enough.
Oh my! Is he going to protect? He has nowhere to back out.
Oh, they're going to try. Oh, Sedgley tried it. Oh. Somebody's in the barrier in front by the sounds of it, or somebody's hit the barrier. That could have been Duncan Murray, to be honest, because I did hear a scrape in my ear, but Sedgley's made it through on Cal. Wow.
You do not expect to see people sending it around the outside there.
No,
that's
definitely
such
not.
a difficult line to make.
John Brown still hanging on to his 3rd place, with Mark Brown in front and Nils Peen out in front by about 4.5 seconds. We focused a lot on one battle. Dan Mould is off the grass. He's been overtaken by Stewart Gibbons and Mark Draper. Further down, Michael Seal is flashing out as Stephen Harewood. There was as well. So there's a lot going on here. Dan Mould under attack from JB Deju here. Russell Cal still being chased down, or chasing down Daniel Sedgley with Matt Elmore behind him.
And Sedgley is starting to pull a little bit of a gap versus how tight we saw the battle between the two. And Elmore is now starting to catch up with Cal, of course. And I'm not sure whether Sedgley is in fact quicker than Cal, or whether the pressure from Matt Elmore behind is actually just, that side effect of battling with the car behind you is you will inevitably be a little bit slower.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things, it's like anything, you're battling with the guy behind. You don't go as far forward as you do if you wasn't. If Sedgley now just gets his head down and turns around and says, I'm not going to really worry about what's going on behind me. Steve Howard is battling away here with Scott Malcolm. If Sedgley just gets his head down and says, thank you very much, I'm not going to really worry about what's going on behind, then there's no threats for him at all. But as you can see, people are still going at it, and we've still got these guys going at it here for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, and Sedgley's got to try and break that ability for Cal to try and make moves on him.
Exactly, and I think Cal is doing an exceptionally good job here of just trying to keep an eye on both cars right now.
Yeah. Which
is amazing, because it shows how much you really have to multitask.
Yeah, and apparently, according to my wife, as a man, I can't do that very well. So, I'm like, hey, babe, what do you expect? Michael Seals just got past Steve Howard there. Howard went in a little bit deep. John Brown is slowly coming under attack from Fraser Garrity. We got 6.5 minutes. 6.5 minutes remaining. Duncan Murray as well is another one that looks like he's going to be sticking his nose on Mark Brown there. But Cal was run wide and Elmore was tightening up the corner again. Nope, still nothing to him. But I think this battle up front is going to materialise quite quick here, Stewart.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to really come down to it at this point. If these stay the same all the way through this final 6 minutes, we're going to have an absolute cracker to an end of the race if all drivers in the top 4 are this close, and especially if they manage to pull it back to the cars in front.
Yeah, Sedgley seems to have broken the gap. I think he's got a bit too far of a gap to try and catch Murray in front unless something drastic happens. But Cal and Gomez are side by side. Gomez has gone up the inside of Cal. Carl's trying to run him around the outside, leaving room. Oh, they're going to be trying going 3 wide up the hill.
Oh. Perfectly placed there. That was really well raced from all of them.
Yeah, that could have gone horribly wrong.
It really could, as it still could, but as a move here.
Garrity on Brown, Garrity on the left.
Oh, so close. It does show just how much you kind of have to potentially be willing to back out, knowing that potentially later in the lap you could get that position back, as we have a battle here in the number 43 of Mark Brown and Murray behind.
Yeah, Murray in the gold and white, Brown in the almost honeycomb hex colours.
Murray on the grass, very, very close. You don't want to be there. You kind of want to keep it on the black stuff.
Yeah, definitely on that one. You don't want to be doing that, young sir, unfortunately. Sam Smith and J.M. Gomez, Mark Draper, Russell Cowell, Pack. Dan Mould behind as well. Cowell is leading the front, of course. Then we've got Gomez, Smith, Draper and Mould. And then behind that, you can see the little pokes of their heads come out almost, can't you? Look, here comes Seal. He's having a go. Battling away here with Stuart Gibbon. Scott Malcolm in the blue and white.
Oh, easy as you like. Just straight down, number 48 there. Stop Malcolm, just straight in between. Nice as you like. Right position, thank you very much. As we jump back up to the battle for first.
John Brown, Fraser Garrity, 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, battle for 2nd and 3rd. I apologise.
That's okay.
As they come round here, and it looks like Penis managed to pull quite a considerable gap.
Yeah, he's got about 6.7 teeth. 6.7 seconds currently.
Potentially a side effect of all this battling.
And there is a lot of it. Look at this. Gomez and Smith. And Cowell, just for good health. There you go. 3 minutes left on the clock. And, I think I can admit it's been an absolutely hectic race 2, just as much as it has been race 1. Brown's under pressure from Garrity still. This is your battle for 2nd place. John Brown in the SRL green and black, of course. So, there we go. It's been incredible racing so far.
Absolutely, and I think we've still got a lot more to go. 3 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're racing this hard, it's definitely a lot of time and plenty of time for someone to make a mistake. And I think that's the main concern of drivers here, and that's essentially, I believe, further back, trying to make a move.
Oh, he's caught up with Murray.
That's an exceptional drive from Sedgley. He's still trying to make it stick around the outside, too wide, going on to the boot here. I know the whole area is called the boot. The boot straight. Did not expect that. Coming down towards Peel, and to be honest, if he's managed to make that work, could he potentially try and get Mark Brown? Woo! With that sort of mistake, yes, potentially, and he does.
Yeah. So Garrity next for Daniel Sedgley. 2 minutes remaining. Murray's off. Murray's into the wall. Was having a good race up until that point. Unfortunately for Duncan Murray, he's now off track. Niels Peen's going to go across the line. It's going to be one and one more. One and one more. So we're going to have this one and one more lap. Because they went
still
across.
Got. Sorry.
No, you carry on.
No, we've still got a lot of battles going on, and cars right on the bumper of the cars in front. I'm just trying to figure out who is who. The 123 of Russell Cowell in front of Sam Smith here. Still trying to battle, but there's a little bit wide. They're all going to be right nose to tail going up through the S's, and this will turn out to potentially be a very interesting entrance to the bus stop.
Yeah, I think from Smith's point of view, he's got to be a little bit separate, though. Sensible. You don't want to make a move that you're not going to be able to complete, and John Brown is trying to defend from his life at the moment with Fraser Garrity, and J.M. Gomez and Smith. Oh, there's contact. Gomez is on the grass. He's not going to stop it. He's not going to stop it. Oh, he's only got to look at the entry in, and he does get saved. Great driving there, I've got to be honest. Daniel Sedgley has now made a move past Fraser Garrity. Sedgley up 7. Can he get John Brown as well? He's come from the back of his pack and is absolutely flying in that Audi there for Daniel Sedgley. So there we go.
Absolutely insane driving from Daniel Sedgley to get up into third position. He's just an absolutely amazing drive, considering that he was quite a distance back. So he's actually managed to take real advantage of everyone else battling in front of him and just weave his way through.
Yeah, he's done an incredible job in that Audi. Absolutely incredible. I think that's the thing. He's just been so consistent and quick. And once he cleared Cowell, as we said, he looked like he was going to be making moves there, and he did. He was on a 157.73. He's only been slower than Dan Mould on a 157.64. And Sedgley now is trying to chase down Brown in front of him with 1 lap to go. Final lap of the race. Niels Peen is in first. And again, another stunning race here from the SRL. Final lap, Sedge. What are you going to do, son? What are you going to do?
Is the main question, as we got Russell Cowell with Russell Cowell with Sam Smith behind. He's going to potentially make the move, as it's going to also bring in the cars behind as well to bring another 5-car battle onto the straight, 2 wide through the S's right now. Just waiting to see who comes out on front on the straight, with J.M. Gomez behind and Dan Mould in front. Heading up towards the bus stop. Is anyone potentially going to make a move here? I don't think so. I think that would be a little bit rash, especially this late in the race.
Do you know what? I would generally agree with you, but this is the SRL, and you are looking at John Brown and Daniel Sedgley, and I can guarantee if Sedgley gets a sniff that Brown's even remotely made a mistake, he is going to say thank you. And I think any one of these cars that are going to race into your background now are going to do exactly the same thing. Because here as well, Russell Cowell, Dan Mould and Sam Smith, of course. Mould trying to come and make points from down in 19th, I believe he was. He's now in 8th. Dan Mould, no, 17th. So there we go. Oh, there we go.
Oh! Daniel Sedgley making the move round the outside of John Brown. Is he going to make it stick? He is going to make it stick. On the final lap, he's still not fully ahead of him, though. There's still the opportunity, and now he's ahead of him. But all John Brown now has to do is try and make a move into one of these final corners. There is a possibility for it, but I don't think he's close enough. But here's Niels Peen coming across the line in first, 9 seconds ahead of Sedgley. But Sedgley doing a fantastic fantastic drive to get to the position he's in, but we could potentially have a car behind going wide round. Not quite.
John Brown there got third place. Couldn't quite hang on. Let's rushes down to the line here. Between Mark Draper and Dan Mould. It was Mould over Draper. Scott Malcolm comes across the line in 17th place. There's Roger Morton. Roger Morton there as well. Kev Eilert behind that is Michael Seal. There's Gary Craig, of course, your winner, your second place man in race 1. Obviously was involved in the first lap incident with McCain. So, and unfortunately dropped him down the order. There is McCain battling away with Christopher Barnes. And Richard White all on his own, mind you. So, not such a good second race for McCain and Craig. Unfortunately. Coming together.
But unfortunately it happens. It's just part of racing.
That's the thing, it happens. It's one of those things, isn't it, as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here, please drop a sub on either the SRL YouTube channel or the JPB YouTube channel, depending on which one you are watching on, because that would be amazing. Don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, because that would be amazing also. So thank you so much as well. And now we've just got to wait for Richard White to come across the line. Neil Stevenson out, Ryan Dudley out, Carl Fleet, Derek Crowther and Al Brown all out there.
And across the line.
There we go. Right. I don't know. Right. Don't know. Just sometimes it's easier said, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's happened to the overlay there. It's all gone a little bit wonky donkey, isn't it? I'm not quite sure what that's all about, to be honest, because it shouldn't be quite looking like that. But there we go. Onwards and upwards. Neil Peen in first, Daniel Sedgley in second, John Brown third, Fraser Garrity fourth, Mark Brown fifth, Matt Elmore in sixth, Russell Cowell seventh, Dan Mould eighth, Mark Draper ninth, Sam Smith 10th, J.M. Gomez in 11th, Duncan Murray in 12th, Stuart Gibbons in 13th, JB Deju 14th, Steve Howard in 15th, Elliot James 16th, and Scott Malcolm down in 17th place. Then beyond that, we've got Roger Morton in 18th, Kev Eilert 19th, Michael Seal 20th, Gary Craig 21st, Alan McCain in 22nd, Chris Barnes 23rd, Richard White 24th, Neil Stevenson 25th, Ryan Dudley 26th, and Carl Fleet down in 27th place. So there we go. Unfortunately, they're not so great for Ryan Dudley. The first race wasn't as good as the second one, and yeah, not too good, unfortunately. So well done to your new commentator, and welcome to the JPB channel, says Phil, our resident watcher.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Right, we have got Mark Draper and Dan Mould in the booth. Let's have a slow-mo of the beginning, and then we can have a chat with Dan Mould here, and we'll bring him in to the booth very, very shortly. There he is, Mr. Mould. How are you, sir?
Hello, sir.
How's it going?
I'm a little bit sweaty, James.
Thanks, mate. I bet you are. How was the racing for you, though?
From my point of view, I thought it was brilliant. From what I heard in the Discord, there was a few people had a few incidents, but it was really close up top. There wasn't much space to do anything. It was literally just put the pressure on and wait for somebody to make a mistake. Nose to tail for the last few laps of the feature. Yeah, I just the lads did fantastic tonight. There was some really close battling there. Congrats on the winners. Mark had some amazing pace tonight. Yeah, I'm happy, even though I finished where was 8th, was I? And then I don't know where I finished first race, but yeah, I'm over the moon.
You were 4th because you started 16th, I think. 16th.
4th, right? Okay.
I think so, yeah. So all in all, not a bad evening of racing. Now, there was some incidents, right? But, as we said before, it is TCRs and, you're expecting some in general. There was a question in chat about somebody joining. Are they able still to join TCR, Dan, or is that locked up for the season now?
No, we've had two people join for tonight's race midway through the season. We are, me and John are, we're offering a reduced rate now if you want to join in. Obviously, it's going to be all for competing in the championship, but yeah, feel free if they want to join, they can do. Like I say, we're more of a community. We do host a league and there's a championship, but we race for shits and giggles. Sorry for swearing. We race for fun. Even though there's a championship, we race hard, but we race for fun. There's no malice in the group or nothing like that. Things happen. We just carry on with it.
So there you go. You can still get involved. All links are down in the YouTube descriptions below the representative channels, whether it's JPB or SRL. Dan, thank you so much for joining me. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth tonight?
Everybody involved in SRL and the league. Even the new guys tonight. Me and John were overwhelmed with the amount of people who sign up and they tell us how much fun they're having. We do understand people don't have fun sometimes, but we try our best to iron that out by just educating the drivers to race respectfully, and it looks like it has happened tonight. There's always going to be incidents. We can't help that, and no matter what league you do, there's going to be incidents. But yeah, everybody involved, you two and anybody else, the viewers, brilliant. Yep, I'm having me wine and I'm happy.
Good. Thank you very much, Dan, for joining me. And I look forward to probably having a chat with you next Friday, mate. But for now, Dan, that was Dan Mould. You take care, buddy, and we'll catch up soon.
See you, boys.
All right, next up is we're going to bring in your race 1 winner, Mark Draper, who had a great race 1. How are you, Mark?
I'm all right, thanks. Thanks for bringing me in the booth.
No worries, mate. I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all, to be fair. Race 1, you won. Race 2, you finished 9th. But then again, I suppose coming from 20th, that's not a bad gain at all.
No, not at all. It was a bit hairy, to be honest, and I wasn't willing to stick my nose in places where I could have in race 2. I just thought, to be honest, race 2 is never really that good for me. It's normally race 1 I do all right, and race 2 I normally die. But I just thought I'd just keep it safe tonight and try and get some decent points. But yeah, entertaining night though. I loved it. Loved all the racing. Yeah,
it was an absolute stunning race. It was tough at one point to try and keep up with everything that was going on. You know what I mean? But what do we expect Mark Draper to do in the season, Mark? What is your expectations of this TCR season?
My personal expectation is to win every single race, but that's not how it works. So
no, as we know,
so top 5 is where I realistically want to be at the end of the season, which is normally what I do in these leagues, top 5-ish, unless I miss a few. But I don't plan on missing any this season. And to be honest, I thought P5 would be quite easy until I seen all 40 cars or 37 cars come in and the I ratings and the racecraft that comes with it. It's a little bit of a chaos sometimes, but there's some fast boys in there that you have to keep an eye out of, especially like Gary, Dan, even Russell's just come in tonight. He's fast. Sam's fast. The list goes on. It's it's a really good league.
Yeah, it definitely is. That, of course, it was Stretford Field about 2.5K, I think. Across the board, so that's nothing to be sniffed at, as I've just seen Roger Moore and absolutely career into Steve Howard there while I'm watching you as well. But Mark, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations on your win in race 1. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go this evening?
Everyone for turning up, making it of the fun race it is, and Dan and John for setting everything up, making everything good every week without fail, setting the practice sessions up, and you of course for broadcasting it so we can all watch it back.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for joining me. And I'm sure I will have a chat with you again as the season goes on, buddy. But take care.
See you later, mate.
See you later, mate. Right, and now we're going to bring in your victor from race 2, Nils. Good evening, Nils. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm great. I'm having a good one.
You're having a good one?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I came into this expecting maybe P15 quali and then some action in the midfield. Ended up qualifying a lot higher than I thought, and then hit the wall. So, yeah, I'm always one to complain about Watkins because the S's are always good for memes. And then now today, I was the meme. I hit the wall, and thankfully didn't take anybody out. Yeah, I had to go get the fast repair. I was pretty upset, but I kept on driving, tried to find my rhythm and find the right brake balance. I found that very hard here to find the correct brake balance because some of the corners go down and some go up. So I ended up settling for something that was a bit higher than I'm used to, a bit safer, and then that worked out quite well for me for race 2, I think.
Yeah, it did. You started, you basically finished 19th in race 1.
Yeah.
Then you started second in race 2, jumped at the beginning. Who was alongside you? Oh, God blimey, brain's gone dead. Who was
something.
Mark Brown,
maybe
I think it was.
J. Brown.
Yeah, Mark Brown was beside you. So, you got a good start, and then you went on and led by about 9 seconds.
Yeah, I just...
Not difficult, right? It was an easy race 2 for you.
The second one, yeah, I mean, I got a bit lucky how I got past Mark because he got loose on the entry of the bus stop, and that's always scary when you're behind someone going sideways through there. So, but I knew I had to make the move early before the winner of the first race catches me, and it ended up working out. So I think it's just about finding the rhythm and finding clear points where to look at. The reference points need to be on point, and then you can just repeat the lap. If there's nothing else going on, I find it enjoyable to just drive similar laps and be happy with hitting the marks. That's fine, even if there isn't much action going on. So I find happiness in that as well.
That's the thing, and it's all right leading, and it's all right leading by quite a lot. But if you go and hit a wall because you've lost concentration, it's done, isn't it? It doesn't matter what.
It was close 2 times. I got loose myself into the chicane once and was very close to the right side wall on entry, and then another time I would clip the grass a bit, but nothing bad. So that's the beauty of the TCR. Sometimes you can go a bit sideways and it doesn't end your race. So yeah, that's very, very enjoyable.
Well, Nils, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth tonight?
Yes, I would. I would like to shout out my team, GSR German Sim Racing. Shout out our sponsors, ACV and Hetzner. And my good buddy Niklas, who's got a deal coming up for me. So I'm excited for that one.
Watch this.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries, buddy. You take care, Nils, and I'll look forward to chatting to you as the season goes on.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there we go. As expected, the guys were fairly, upbeat and well in spirits there, Stuart, I think, to say that, they've had a good evening of racing, haven't they? It's been amazingly close. They've loved every minute of it, and I think onwards and upwards for that one, don't you think?
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see as well next race, because if that's anything to go by and the quality of racing throughout the season so far, I think pretty much every race has the potential to be a cracker, and yeah, just amazing show from every single driver, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do go on to the Legacy Circuit next week for the GR86s. And then after that, we are back with the TCRs again, where we go into round 4, which is at the Autodromo International Enzo Edino Ferrari, or Imola.
Smooth.
In Italy. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. I've been practicing.
Such a difficult track name.
Yeah, I've been practicing. But guys, I think that is it from myself here in the booth and Stuart Rice. But for now, guys, as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, might see you on a track sometime. Good night.